Okay, maybe today we can chant both Tibetan and English. I chant Tibetan verse. Lama dang bo je zun jambe yang lai jang za lo. Kange lo zhe zhen ye zhen zhe nye da nam rao za we. Xin ye deng ge xi xin se je ni je do ga len wang zhen. Kanda zibe tsongre mare mendong dong ji se we rozo gong la buje dar yin lai zhu ji yang den zong ro da wei che ro nyong mong yin long li ji jia zhuo zhong zi yin ma rui miu ze dong ai niu gui xin yi jun zi ra zhong na dong ne da jian sa jian dar yu den lan zuo jia zi zi wo ge wei ju zha ju dong ju ni jian da lu mi zi ren jian bei yang lang. Okay, now we are in English.
Mariko?
I'm going again. Okay. Homage to the Guru and the Protector, Venerable Mangujosa. Your wisdom is brilliant and pure like the sun, free from the clouds of the two obscurations. You perceive the whole of reality exactly as it is, and so hold the book of transcendental wisdom at your heart. You look upon all beings imprisoned within samsara and shrouded by the thick darkness of ignorance or tormented by suffering, with the love of a mother for her only child. Your enlightened speech, endowed with 60 melodious tones, like the thundering roar of a dragon, awakens us from the sleep of destructive emotions and frees us from the chains of karma. Dispelling the darkness of ignorance, you wield the sword of wisdom to cut through all our suffering. Pure from the very beginning, you have reached the end of the 10 bhumis and perfected all enlightened qualities. Foremost of the Buddha's heirs, your body is adorned with the 112 marks of enlightenment. To Mangujosa, the gentle-voiced, I prostrate and pray, dispel the darkness from my mind. Oma Rapa Tsa Nadi.
Did we talk about these last two circles that look like I? This is pronounced as you can see H with under dot is called Visaraka in Sanskrit. Ha sound. Zedeng chi jin chen ra vu ze je tu den mo dan. Ka dan den ju chen lo do ba ye lo ru bo be no. Tsar du lo dong ze da wo ran do bam jing ze zhe ran do na. Gombo jam yang chi ni ne ge me ba yang dong re xiong.
With all of your kindness and love, let your wisdom's shining light clear the darkness of my ignorance, once and for all. Grant me, I pray, the intelligence, the brilliance to understand the scriptures, the words of the Buddha and the works of the masters. And whenever I wish to look upon you or ask of you anything at all, Lord and Protector, Manjushri, let me see you without any hindrance.
Wu de be ge ze ba ne jia chen jian la ma ya. le dong nyong mo zha bo zerwa ye ga wa ngen ba da la ge be. Je wo de jen go le jen de zhe zhen dang xi xin, gun jiang yin zo. I think I step Lama Chan. You can do 3 times.
O Lama, care for me. O Lama, care for me. O Lama, care for me. From the blossoming lotus of devotion at the center of my heart, rise up.
At the center of my heart. Rise up.
Um, what just happened with the sound? O compassionate Lama, my only refuge. I am plagued by past actions and turbulent emotions. To protect me in my misfortune, remain as the jewel ornament on the crown of my head, the chakra of great bliss, arousing all my mindfulness and awareness, I pray. In the three jewels and their essence, the Sugatas, in the three roots, Guru, Deva, and Dakini, in the nadis, vayus, and bindus, and their nature, bodhicitta, in the mandala of essence, nature and compassion, I take refuge until enlightenment is fully achieved, is fully realized. Okay. Oh, mesmerized by the sheer variety of perceptions, which are like the illusory reflections of the moon and water. Beings wander endlessly astray in samsara's vicious cycle. In order that they may find comfort and ease in the luminosity and all-pervading space of the luminous expanse of awareness, I generate the immeasurable love, compassion, joy, and equanimity of the awakened mind, the heart of bodhicitta. Oh, like bubbles appearing on water, all of you deities arise from the space of primordial wisdom before us. I prostrate in direct awareness of the ultimate nature. I offer the increase of visionary experience. I confess in the full measure of awareness. I rejoice in the exhaustion of phenomenal reality. I implore you, turn the wheel of Dharma from the expanse of great transference. I request you, please remain in the great rainbow body. I dedicate all the merit toward the youthful vase body.
Kempo, I can bring up any other texts you want for recitation if you just mention them.
Okay. I think that's good enough for opening prayer. We all know, I don't know anyone miss our last session or before. These are the preliminary practice from Longchen Yingtic tradition, which is by Jingme Lingpa's student, Dortrup Rinpoche, Dortrup Chen, the first Dortrup Chen. And you can see the taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. These two are accumulate in the preliminary practice when people do based on Longchen Yingtic tradition. You also probably know that the word of my perfect teacher is a commentary on these verses, preliminary practice of the Longchen Yingtic tradition that Patrul Rinpoche is a student of the student of Jigme Lingpa. And he wrote this famous "The Word of My Perfect Teacher." Probably everyone know. If you don't know, maybe you can check, because that's most classic, authentic teachings on preliminary practice, how to do it. Yeah, preliminary practice, and accumulations based on these four lines. You can do, of course, 100,000 recitation on that, and the different traditions would do differently, do with the prostration, or do just without prostration, to visualize refuge tree, to taking refuge, and generate bodhisattva. So these are so important parts. We all know our Florida Center also provide a 3-year program that leading preliminary practice there. And of course, preliminary practice is very important. And I think now we could look at our text. And now I don't remember exactly what verse. Probably everyone knows, so it doesn't really matter if we overlap or anything that's necessary go over. And since this is when we stop is December 14th. So today is already January something, 18, and we miss, or we skip, or we just pause a month. And of course, we have gather in New Year in Florida. Maybe a few of you maybe were there, or online, or in person. And we had a great New Year start with meditation and a little bit about meditation, how to do meditation. And then after that, we had more about how when we practice, how we can dedicate things. Aspiration prayers are very important. And so at that time, I said that these 3 parts, yeah, the Dharma is virtue at beginning, virtue at middle, virtue at end. So in order to do that, then we have to have pure motivation, and then sort of pure will. And then after that, we would have dedicate perfectly or correctly or precisely. In order to do that, then it's also related to the view, and it's beyond 3 spheres. And then we talk a little bit about that. Even we ourselves cannot do it, but we can ask Manjushri or some other Bhadra to dedicate our merit to beings without any attachment to the virtue or accumulate any merit. And also there is 3 doors of liberation. Yeah, often we talk about. The cause is without signless cause, which means there is no trace of cause. And then middle, we have these Ngo Tong Banyi. The essence is emptiness, which means nothing that has any any entity. And then we have Jivu Mumba member. Then when we dedicate things, we would not have any expectations on that dedication. So these are we call three doors of liberation. If we don't have that kind of understanding or liberation, then it's very difficult to say we are really on a path. And I may yesterday I was working with others to maybe it's crucial passage that most of us sometimes miss that part. Maybe I can share with you that if you don't mind. If I share about everyone can see.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe everyone understand what is this. Mm. I thought this seems very important. Yeah. What kind of mistakes we could make, and it's involved with practice. The practice that in order to practice that become correct or authentic or true, then these things cannot be involved with our in our practice, or either we say meditation that what we have, and a deity visualization, and a dissolution, or these kind of things. So it's a little bit maybe difficult to understand, or even without understanding of emptiness, then it's maybe a little bit difficult to see what it's really saying here. But you can see that's what I want to show you. Yes, James.
Kempo, the start of the first sentence says, through mistaking that, which makes it sound like this paragraph is dealing with mistakes that were detailed in the previous paragraph.
Yes.
What were the mistakes that they're addressing? Not having the three doors?
Yes, and what the mistakes in here in this paragraph.
I see. So it says 1, meditation on a perfection of wisdom that is sealed by the apprehending of emptiness.
Yeah.
That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Because of the apprehension?
Yes.
Okay. So these are not telling us how to do it correctly. They're telling us how to do it incorrectly.
No, didn't
No.
say do. This is a mistake, should not do. Yeah.
Right. So these would be incorrect.
Yeah.
Could you say more about the first mistake?
So apprehending of emptiness or clinging on emptiness. If your meditation is dictated by your understanding of emptiness, then it's somehow we are treating emptiness as something. It's similar. Nagarjuna was saying that emptiness is when people look wrongfully at emptiness, then it's become bondage and it's become wrong view. Yeah. So that's the
So, Kempo, would it be correct to say that the word apprehending here, it means cognized by a conceptual mind?
yes, I think apprehending is also if we can say clinging or attached to or
But in other words, in order to make this mistake, first we had to turn emptiness into something. And then we cling on to that.
here is saying people do meditate on the perfection of wisdom that is dictated by the understanding of emptiness or
Apprehending. Okay.
or apprehending or cognizing the emptiness. I'm just showing it's the meditation or the practice that we are trying to understand is not easy way. Usually I'm saying maybe there is necessary, we are studying the text and so forth is maybe useful. It's not wasting time. It comes to Buddhist higher practice meditation on emptiness or deity yogas or visualizations are quite technical and quite maybe sometimes it's difficult as well. And those are also good to know, and also three doors of liberation and or these the pure beginning, middle, and the dharmas are so important to is always involved with correct view, and that is important. Maybe keep that in mind. I just yesterday it comes with this session, and we are translating, and we spent a lot of time on that. Maybe we can discuss these later. But now maybe we can go to the text. I just want to show you there is sometimes it's important to think about these teachings. Yes.
Yes, so for, number one and number two seemingly talking about two different things. Number one, talking about emptiness. Number two, talking about forms. But I think essentially from 1 to 4, they're all talking about don't think, don't work with conceptual mind.
Mm-hmm. And what does that mean?
Well, like Mipham has been telling us in the Reliances, we should rely on Yeshe. So thank God he's here as our teacher.
Yeah, both seems emptiness is problematic, yeah. Not emptiness itself, but
Thinking.
thinking or misunderstanding or treating emptiness as something and as an object. And this is also a simple meditation we do, just emptiness, or in generation stage, we visualize deities with the forms, face, and hands, or the perfection stage with sign, without sign. So we can learn this in a later, but so all these are related to either just simple meditation or the deity practice that we do sadhanas all the time. And of course, that involves this generation stage and completion stage, perfection stage. And these are, I thought, a very important part. So then Prasangika Madhyamaka that we learn in a few years, we are expert on that. What does that mean? And that is an important part of this view. First, need to know the view, but not necessarily here treating Prasangika Madhyamaka view as the highest either.
In the
Okay.
chat, there's a discussion about if it's better to say apprehending of emptiness or misapprehending of emptiness. I think what you are trying to say is all apprehending is misapprehending already within the context of meditation.
Yeah, we can change the apprehending. That's what my colleague friend wanted to use that. I use grasping, but they think grasping is too strong.
Grasping makes people think about the 12 links and is it one of those there and there? This is like a lower level operation we're talking about though, right?
Yeah, it's almost anything that dualistic mind apprehend things is already subject-object dichotomy. I think that's become dualistic. Once in a dualistic conceptual world, then it's not really actual emptiness. Is that interesting? See, I can find things and translate and can share with you and you. So not too bad. Okay, so now we can deal with our text.
Yeah, well, I'm going to replace your share.
Did I unshare? How can do unshare?
It's okay. No, that share button on Word isn't related to Zoom. I think that share button on the Word document is about sharing within Microsoft Office. But I've already put the screen share up.
Okay. So we are
I think we read 96 and that's where we stopped.
yes. Then there is we talk about once we have correct view, correct practice, and certain things can achieve. What we can achieve, these 8 tertiaries, yeah, tertiary. We have this tertiary of or these memory or recollections and can see the profound and vast dharmas and so forth. And we can go down. So here we talk about 3 jewels. Of course, 3 jewels can be related to outer 3 jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and then we saw the preliminary practice Nyingtik prayer. When we talk about Lama Yidam Kando, Lama is Buddha, and Yidam is Dharma, Kando Dakini is Sangha, and so forth. And we took these 3 jewels with 3 bodies of 3 weakened bodies, the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and the Nirmanakaya, and so forth. We can do these all the way to the Ngorang Yitukye, the essence, nature, and compassion, and so forth. Okay, I read in the Tibetan. Kuncho somje rikyu na michu shangchub sambiter. Jemi nyambe chunyi la soba toba drobiter.
Not severing the continuous line of the 3 jewels, this is the treasure of bodhicitta. Gaining acceptance of the nature of equality beyond arising. This is the treasure of accomplishment. John?
The treasure of bodhicitta is maintaining the unbroken lineage of the 3 jewels. The treasure of accomplishment is attaining acceptance of the true nature, the equality of the unborn. See here, James?
Not severing the continuous lineage of the 3 jewels, this is the treasure of the aspiration to awakening, gaining acceptance of the nature of equality and the non-production of all things, this is the treasure of accomplishment.
And these lines, we see that the first 2 lines is showing that bodhicitta, which is the source of 3 jewels that maintains. And then we need to sort of gain confidence in unborn dharmata, yeah? Unborn dharmata, which is emptiness. We talk about that right before that passage is talking about we need to understand emptiness correctly. And here we have that. And then next lines are kind of a summary of that. Tedar medar mezibi der shenje la wang jor kang, ziji jarwe nga hindun jiken som jingom berchur.
Someone who has mastered these 8 great inexhaustible treasures will never separate from them and will be praised by the Buddhas and their heirs and become a sovereign of the 3 worlds. Carrie?
Those who master the inexhaustible 8 great treasures and never part from them are praised by the Buddhas and their heirs and become the protectors of the 3 worlds. Spencer?
Those who are freely endowed with the abundance of and never separated from the 8 great and inexhaustible treasures will be praised by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and become a lord of the 3 realms.
And we can see here these 8 once a person achieved these 8 treasures or tertiaries that then will Bodhisattvas and Buddhas will praise this person and will become the protector, or Gompo is sovereign of the three worlds. And these are easy to understand. I think we can go next one. And next one, Tibetan has this repetition of tsemma, tsemma, tsemma. But English, I just cannot do that. Here, tsemma, usually you can see, even you don't know Tibetan, but you can see the forms are exactly same. It's called tsemma. Tsemma is Tsemma means valid cognition, and Tsemma means validity, and also sometimes authentic, correct, logical. There's many ways. So that's why these the first we maybe read. Tsemma churwa jarve song tsemma tarki drupana tseme lamne nge jebin tseme song den tong.
The valid teachings of the victorious Buddhas are established by the valid cognitions. So by developing confidence through the valid path, the true result of the valid teachings will be seen. Lincoln?
The teachings of the Buddha are valid since they are proven through valid cognition. One develops certainty through a valid path of valid teachings, so one sees the truth, which is the fruition.
Mm.
The
Damien?
valid teachings of the victorious Buddha can be established by the valid knowledge. Therefore, through the valid path, one generates conviction and sees the true fruition of the valid teachings.
So these, yeah, now we see I'm kind of wrong. Each line has valid. So valid is, so Tibetan put this at the beginning, or it's easy to recognize. So Tsemma often used as a Sanskrit pramana, that means Tsemma, the pramana. And valid cognition means a direct perception that can also use as a Tsemma. And we also have these inferences that also can use Tsemma as well. So Tsemma has a lot of meanings, and here you can also use the teachings of Buddha, and so how you can access to these teachings, and then through these understanding of the valid understanding, and then one will gain, or one will see correctly the ultimate reality and so forth. Okay, any questions? Tema is very interesting, important subject. Okay, next one is Suba Hindo Namda Jin Tubji Chimbun Tarsomba Devar Yigbe Lam Tani Dagi Konyi Dutsiro. I think we need to read maybe 3 verses together. The da rikpa Hetona Tomba Hi Goni Nyong Hiji Dutsiko Shandern Zejo Ningmi Wange Texane. Telin Dogbe Chorjine Tembe Roncho Nyongawa Tone Lakbe Sambatan. Temba Chodo Kubilo. We need to read more. And that are samba lation, Sherab Chamiki Vitur, Jungzi Jubi Kawa and Rokun Jambrini Churchik.
With noble vision, completely and utterly pure, and great compassion that has reached perfection, the bliss-gone Buddha revealed the path and said, "The taste of this nectar I have discovered should be experienced by means of the four reasonings and the four reliances. Although a portion of this how to say this word? James?
Elixir.
Elixir. Although a portion of this elixir has now been shared in this modern age rife with degeneration, through all the methods that run counter to this approach, it is difficult to savor the supreme taste of the teachings. With this in mind, and with an altruistic intention and the mind of supreme devotion for the teachings, I have here briefly explained how to generate the immaculate wisdom that is born of reflection. Through the merit of this, may all beings become the very equal of Manjushri. Ted?
Having completely purified his vision and perfected great compassion, the Sugata demonstrated the path and said, "Taste the deathless nectar I have found, and experience it through the four reasonings and the four reliances. Even though he shared this nectar, it is difficult to experience its supreme taste because of our degenerate era and the way it goes against the Dharma. Seeing this, my mind is filled with pure motivation and the greatest reverence for the teachings. Through the virtue of expressing just a little of the way to develop the stainless wisdom which comes from contemplating in this way, may all beings attain the state of Manjushri." Um, mm, Zoldi?
His vision is completely and utterly pure. His great compassion has reached perfection. The bliss-gone Buddha has shown the path and says, "I have tasted the flavor of the nectar I have discovered, and I wish that by the four principles and the four reliances, you will taste it too, although this nectar has now been shared in such age of degeneration. Sentient beings tend to an opposite direction to the path, hence they can hardly taste it. Having seen this with pure intention and a mind of supreme devotion for the teachings, I wrote this. By the merit of this concise explanation of the doctrines arising from immaculate wisdom that is born of reflection, may all beings attain the fruition of Manjushri.
Yes, now we know the main kind of focus on these texts is these four reasons and four reliance. If we can, if we have summary, or James maybe can pull out what is four reasons and four reliance are. That is sort of important, and usually these four reasons are included all the reasons or logics that how we approach to the phenomena is already kind of subsume all the reasons in the four reasons. And once we have logically understanding or correctly understanding through reason, and then we need to rely on the actual Dharma, how to practice. And these practices are also, when we want to understand or practice, then we should focus more on these step by step to rely on things that such as not word. We need to rely on meaning and so forth. And here we have maybe these four reliance or rely on that we need to. And you can see here not sort of rely on the person, but need to rely on the teaching or the message of the teacher. And we cannot rely on words, but we need to rely on the meanings. And then we have these two terms, provisional, and definitive meaning. That we have two ways of talking about real meaning. Means usually Tibetan has Namdang and Namdang Mayinpa, the non-provisional, or can we say non-provisional, or what do you say? Tibetan has a negation, provisional and a non-provisional. Kind of here used as real meaning, which means definitive meaning. So here, yeah, also yeah, real meaning, definitive meaning. And then finally, we cannot rely on our ordinary things, our mind, and we need to rely on wisdom. So these are sometimes we sort of forget what we really need to focus on and so forth. So these are important things. And when we talk about the four reasons also, the all causes are...
Sorry, Kempo, I know this chart is not the best organized, but it has all four of them at least.
Yeah, these four, you can see the first one is talking about the cause here. The cause which always act upon something, or cause produce a result. If things that doesn't produce, then means it's not cause. And then all the result or fruit are relying on the cause. So these are showing that also is Buddhist karmic theory that if you do bad things, it will produce a bad result. And all these good results are based on that. A little bit dry throat. And that's relying on the cause and result. So this is karmic causal relationship. And then Chunyi Jirikpa is saying the fire has kind of nature's heat and water is moist and so forth. These are the dharmata, or the nature of things. And this nature of things we cannot change. It's everything in that nature. When it comes to tantras, how things arise and why we need to visualize and why we need to recite mantra. All these are the comes to this Kyuniji Rigpa. It's this here say ultimate nature of things, or it is generic ultimate characters such as emptiness. Yes, and also the nature of everything. So these three you can see all are the correct reason or a valid reason. So these will goes to the tantras when teaching tantras, going through these reasons. It's a little bit different than Madhyamikas. We have these rigpas, the rigpas of the Dorji Sigma, which is the thunder, what we call thunder. Do you have an English? There's
Say the name again, Kempo.
it's called Dorji Sigma. It's the Chandakirti's logic, what do we call Kyula Kyuba Dorji Sigma, the analyzing the cause, which is a thunderball reason. And Ngola Kyuba Jiktoja, when we talk about the essence or nature, then we use this logic of not one, not two. And then when we talk about fruit, then it's neither existent nor non-existent. Rigpa. So Rigpas are the logics or reasons that we use. Of course, you all don't know much about Tibetan, so that's why maybe these Rigpas are also hidden in English. That's not much. Do we use logics in a Madhyamikas? That's my question. Everyone seems don't remember that. So, what's Chandakirti's logic to show that there's no birth?
Is it the logic of negation?
Negate what?
Intrinsic reality, intrinsicness?
No, usually it's called the Jula Juba Dorje Sigma. The Ju first negate the cause. Why there's no cause?
Not produced from self, other, both, or neither.
Yeah, that name is called the Dorje Sigma, the Vajra Thunderbolt.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you tend to encounter it as Vajra slivers.
Yeah. So those are important, but it's a little bit different logic in the tantric. These four logics you can see now. If yeah, those are, if you are familiar with or not, it doesn't really matter. But there's different way of categorizing these things. Sometimes they call Madhyamikas for great reasons. That those four great reasons are analyzing the cause, analyzing the fruit, analyzing the nature, and analyzing everything. So these mainly four. Each teachers use a little bit different Chandarakshita used beyond one and many, and of course, Nagarjuna used the interdependent origination, and then Chandakirti's the thunderbolt metaphor, and so forth. So don't worry, you will know more when we go further. Okay, then we can go back to the text maybe. Well, I just want to emphasize that these four reasonings and the four reliance are the main part of these texts. To go 104, I think. Jambar mavi nyemar ngu chokwe nyingi chuchi tibi shibana. Likhi dansi donmar chungwande karzon hui gatam perjurchi.
Turn towards the son of Manjushri's speech. The water-born lotus of my heart opens in devotion. May these golden honey drops of excellent explanation become a plentiful feast for the bees of good fortune. Irina?
When the lotus of my heart turned toward Manjushri, the son of speech, it blossomed with devotion, and this honey pollen of excellent explanations came forth. May this increase the feast of fortunate bees. Damien?
Thanks to the son of Manjushri's speech, the lotus of my mind blossoms with devotion, as these honey drops of excellent explanation flows therefrom. May they bring joy to the bees of good fortune.
So here, what do you think? It's anything related to what we chant in preliminaries? And there is calling Guru from afar. Of course, that's the English translation. And the Tibetan's Lama Jambu. Lama Jambu is translated Jang as afar from. But maybe Tibetan didn't really mean that you needed to calling Lama from far. Because Lama is not far from you, yeah. And this Jang is also you can see in another Longchen Yingte Jew practice is called Kandu Ke the laughter of Jackinis. This Jiang is kind of loudly calling or loudly calling, not necessarily far. However, if you remember Dunjum Rinpoche's Lama Jambu, of course, in English we calling Lama from far. There he say, oh, we don't need to call our Lama from far, or we need to try to search Lama in the near. So he seems either afar or closeness of Lama. Both are not necessary. It's our Lama is always in our heart. And that is also reflects that what we chant in earlier at the beginning, this Lama Chen, Lama Chen, Lama Chen, and Nyingwite Bekesar. So this term here, Nyingwu is the water-born lotus of my heart opens in the devotion, and it's same as we chant the calling Lama from far at the beginning. There's your fate is like a lotus that opens, and then the guru arise from there, yeah, rise in there or from there. So that is it's important here how these Nyingtek lamas, practitioners, how they treat the guru. And Mipham Rinpoche's tutelary deity or the Yidam deity is Manjushri. So that's why he always called Manjushri as a lama, yeah, here. If James, it's easy, can you open that prayer at the beginning?
Yes, sir. Hold on just a second.
Keep this in mind to look at that part. Oh, it's similar.
And which page would you like me to display?
The calling Lama from far.
You mean Dudjom Rinpoche's text?
No, our text. Yes, same text. Lamanchen, then what?
Oh, sorry, Kempo. Okay, now I understand. It's a different file. I just have to grab. No, it's okay.
These are important for practitioners. And what here is say, yeah, from the blossoming lotus of devotion at the center of my heart, rise up, O compassionate Lama. So that is what in here chanting, you saw the Mipham Rinpoche's, his last, not last, his lines are similar. What we call these are calling Lama from far. But I'm saying that Jiang in a Tibetan translate as far. But we look at the Dunjum Rinpoche's, maybe once we have already. So what he's saying, we don't need to calling Lama from far. We don't need to trying to find Lamas near. So Lamas always in you or in the center of heart. Do you remember that or not? Doesn't matter, yeah? Do you have Dunjum images? No.
Let me check. I think someone else actually in the group might have it quicker than I do.
Spencer has.
I'm sorry, Kempo. I don't think I have it available for sharing. I'm not at my normal workstation just because of circumstances.
That's
There it
fine.
is.
That's Okay, same thing, yeah. The Dingying Wu. Okay, read maybe. Spencer, you can read in English.
In the center of the thousand petals of the heart, in the center of the lotus essence, always giving blessing, always being with me inseparably in joyfulness. Supreme Master, glorious Heruka, fearless wisdom Vajra, you are the essence of all the victorious ones, believing from the heart with total trust. With intense yearning, praying to you one-pointedly, by the Amrita of City of Empowerment and Blessing, may you please ripen my mind and liberate me. From remembering my Guru so very much, fervently calling with desperation, besides this unending nature of my mind, I could not find my Guru somewhere else. The object of praying and the one who prays, if they do not exist, with contrived intention, supposedly praying with effort and grasping, why is it necessary to pretend like this? Unrecognizable clarity, the naked, raw nature of empty awareness. This is the only absolute Guru. I recognize this as Yeshe Dorje. It is the great abiding nature from the beginning. In that primordial basis, there is no need to call from far away. There is no need to search nearby. In the all-containing nature beyond thought, of course, there is not even the name delusion. So therefore, without question, it is enlightenment, great, even inconceivable exaltation. Whatever arises is all the display of Dharmakaya, the great blessing which is free from any aim. I, a yogi, absorb in my heart. O great wondrous ah.
Yes, you can look at the previous page and okay, yeah, the last two lines, yeah. There's no need to call from far away, and there's no need to search nearby. So this jiang in the Tibetan, the first syllable, usually jiang is far, far away. And it's also treated as a calling Lama from far. It's this. So I'm just pointing out that maybe the translation in English seems Lama is already separating from oneself too far, and that's why I need to calling Lama from far. It's not really reflect maybe what Tibetans we have. The young could be laughter or the loud or loud cry or something, not rather than just afar, far away. Yeah. Okay.
So would you say it's kind of like calling out loudly to the Guru?
Yes.
Okay.
Jacob?
Is there a, could you try to describe what the subjective state or sort of subjective inner techniques are when reciting the prayer to try to experience the feeling that is being instructed?
So usually, I think it's not only it's one way. There's outer guru and inner guru always, and once one has outer guru, which is often used means a person who give you teaching, point out the mind and empowerment and so forth. Usually there's three things involved, teaching, empowerment, and giving us paid instruction, or the oral transmission, paid instruction and empowerment. So that person, I think, outer guru, usually the devotions and intimacy, the devotion or fate in that person need to rise first. I think that's because that is a sort of a human feeling relationship as a connection arise first. If once we can treat that person as a Buddha, then we slowly could understand that our Buddha nature or my nature as also inseparable from that or any Buddha. And then whether we treat outwardly as a person out there or inwardly our nature is as same as that person. As not, we are not neglecting while we are treating internal Buddha, but external Buddha as equal. And then, so dichotomy or the external internal division sort of collapse. And now that's why it's here is talking about I don't need to call a Lama far away, and I also don't need to try to find something that maybe I couldn't find but nearby. And because these two, there's not really external things. But often this practice is important to say the fate is the place where your Lama sits. And that is often used as the center of heart. That lotus is growing, or lotus, thousand petal lotuses, they're always sitting, your lamas sit there, whether sometimes we think lama is not nearby, but at least a practitioner can bring external lama in a heart center, one's heart center. I think then it's a lot of benefits of this practice, and then faith and devotion and guru and then your own nature and external nature. If we cannot treat a person, outer Lama, as Buddha, then we cannot treat everything as equal or everything as Buddha. But then it's much more difficult to even treat one's own my nature as a Buddha, and also heart center is the place of the one's own guru, which is inseparable from one's own mind nature, and then it's difficult. The Milarepa has said, Lama tang rang sem sang ji som kip tu tok bin la. So he's saying, I'm the Greek yogi who realized my own mind, the Lama, the Guru, and the Buddha are the inseparable and single entity. That's the practice, yeah? Does that answer your question, or? Okay. Anyone want to add anything, or this Dunjum Rinpoche's Lama Jambo is very beautiful. Yeah. Okay, should we look at our text to see Since practice is more not how much you can gain, but how much you can give up, yeah. And then this is colophon already. I thought more than that, but anyway. Kiban dening ane chindu yu ba hi nye char kepil kepa laksam gyan sanju korn sachong ge lo fernda zumpi nirgu ni keklan jambar jibi chiba mangalam sholo ka jatang shi yu to.
I had the intention to write this for a while, but in accord with the recent request made by the learned scholar Laksam Gyatsen, this was written in a single day by Jampa Gyatpa on the 29th of the third month of the Shakyong year, Woodbird. Mangalam, there are 104 verses. Let virtue abound. Lincoln?
In accord with my previous intention to write this, when the learned one, Laksam Gyaltsen, recently urged me to do so, I, Jampal Jepe, wrote it in a single day, the 29th day of the third lunar month of the Sakyong year. Mangalam, may this be auspicious. There are 104 verses. May this be virtuous. Sandra?
Maybe Miracle, because Sandra might be in trance.
Mariko?
Okay. I had meant to compose the sword of wisdom for thoroughly ascertaining reality. Recently, upon the request made by the learned Logsam Tenpe Gyaltsen, I, Jampo Gyepa, Mipham Rinpoche, wrote it in a single day on the 29th day of the third month of the Sakyong year, Woodbird 1885. May all be auspicious. There are 104 stanzas. How excellent.
Yeah, here one thing we are learning at the same time Tibetan language and meaning as well, besides English. Jambal Jeba, Jambal Jebi Dorje is often used Mipham Rinpoche's another name. Jambal means Manjushri, and Jambal, the glorious smooth, which is a Manjushri talking about. And Jeba, Jeba means one who pleases a Manjushri. So Mipham Rinpoche himself, I guess himself, used these for him to saying, I'm the Mipham who please the Manjushri, or who make Manjushri happy. So means his writing, his practice, his all Dharma activities make Manjushri's mind fulfilled. So that's why his name is Jambal Jepa. Jambal Jepa Dorje sometimes used as a Dorje. And of course, then other names are just regular names. Laksam Gyaltsen is another Tibetan. And usually we don't know exactly, but Tibetans usually never write the year. So here, Adam Prissy, I think, figure out what year this would be, and then this is 1885, according to him. So this is written in 19th century. Of course, Mipham Rinpoche is one of the prolific writer, And there is a few, in the Nyingma tradition, there's a few great scholars and also great practitioner, yogi, siddha, whatever we call, and their knowledge and their wisdom and their writings are tremendously influential, and also you can see how beautiful they are. And Jigme Lingpa and Mipham Rinpoche. And it's interestingly, they themselves, both Jigme Lingpa and Mipham Rinpoche, they say they never really went through traditional training on the education. And they really learned very few texts from others, but not much. But somehow their wisdom is gained through the practice. You can see through these writings and their knowledge and their wisdom. So practice is the main sort of thing we can pay attention. That's what I want to say in these texts. I'm not sure. Some of you maybe think this too much terminologies and too complicated, and but these may be beneficial in the future. And since we finished these texts, which I want to finish, and maybe next step that Lee requests to discuss on these Vajra verses, Jigme Lingpa's Vajra verses. Have anyone got that teaching?
Just give me a second.
I don't remember. I give really teachings on Vajra verses. So you could have that text. If not, if anyone went to GBI, there's a small booklet. I think Chenru, you download that from GBI, maybe if you
There's
read.
one on Lotsawa House also.
I think that's the same thing that Gachin Rinpoche or GBI gives that same translation. Is that true?
I think they did. I'm not certain.
Okay.
But this is the one you personally worked on with Adam Piercy, I think.
Yes. So these texts is very important. And I just mentioned Jigme Lingpa and Mipham Rinpoche. These two are, of course, Jigme Lingpa is earlier than Mipham, but they're Mipham Rinpoche is Patrul Rinpoche's, the author of Word of My Perfect Teacher as student. Patrul Rinpoche is Jigme Lingpa's student, so we see now. And if we can look at that as beneficial for practitioners, these Gachin Rinpoche often emphasize on these texts a lot. I try to introduce many of my friends, and then after a while, I saw Vajra verses. They say, "What do you mean? What is that text?" And seems people are not that enthusiastic to keep looking these texts, but due to our request by Lee, and maybe we can look together and read together and see what you may have questions, and this is more technical meditation practice that helps. Just I point out yesterday's my translation, but some issues, the technical issues that we need to pay attention. So here is also come up with shamatha, vipassana, and these are people trying to understand what those mean and how is related to the Dzogchen context and so forth. Maybe that's a good idea to look at these texts. Meanwhile, you can look at these texts and familiarize, and then we can sort of discuss and what questions may you have. So
Tempo,
that
I'm sorry, do you want it up now, or are we going to discuss it now, or are you talking about the future?
future.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know whether to display it or not.
No, it's good to show us what this text is, and so then also I think due to my I'm getting sort of busier and busier until sometime maybe next year. So I'm thinking also our time I need to reduce maybe up to 1.5 hours, and that way we can go through these texts, and then whatever may change to look at in the future we can do together, but maybe can reduce time in 1.5 hours, which is today's exactly seems like sometimes you don't need to plan, but it comes exactly. But whatever discuss want to bring up now or later or future, that's fine. Now, floor is yours.
I have a question, Temple.
Yes, please, Mariko.
You gave me the little book, so I read it. It has
Oh,
the
okay.
verses.
Okay.
I really like it. I'm very glad that Lee asked that we study this. I think that's a really great idea after reading it. But I feel like it's so much pointing at the meditative state that I was wondering if you're gonna give us some meditation instructions to go along with the text.
Yeah, I will. I usually do, but I think if you are sort of new in this circle, most of you have spent time with me. I trying to pointing out what I learned from my guru, maybe. So meditation technique is not that complicated, but people sometimes take in a complicated way to saying how to look at. I need to see my back of my skull and so forth. But today is just yes, we will do these particular texts. Is really personally Garchen Rinpoche told me many times that this is important, this is important, this is important. And of course, he has memorized already, and another thing is when I grew up, or I studied Longchen Yingtek, my life is revolve around Longchen Yingtek, but I didn't know these texts until I met Garchen Rinpoche. And many years ago in Arizona or somewhere, I met Garchen Rinpoche, and I have another friend, Lama, and we asked Garchen Rinpoche to give us a mind pointing. And at that time, he said, you need to practice these texts. And then he's reciting from his memory, and then the end of the text, there is a particular one. He say, once you know this, then whether you meet with million Pantitas and billion Siddhas, and you would not have any doubt on that. That might little bit exaggeration, but something like that. In the end, I couldn't phrase well in English, but in the Tibetan, it's in Kitsun Jatong Trup Top Don Loben Chatong Menam Bom Tenchu Shivasaya Tan Yarjan Tesum Jimiku. So Kitsun Ja, maybe, yeah, that's one. Even if you were to meet 100 scholar monks, there's not really monks, but in a translation, of course, sometimes, and 1,000 siddhas, 10,000 translators, Pandita, 100,000 instructors or billion treaties, still there would be no call to clarify a certain uncertainty or doubt. So you don't need to go anywhere to ask anything, because now we are talking about earlier, the outer guru, inner guru is kind of merge, and now you have your confidence in rising from inside. It's not from information from outside. So that is good. If you can keep this as a daily practice memory, it's very seems very important. Whenever you sit down, and what you should do, and what kind of maybe faults or mistakes could make, these texts can correct our meditation. So that's important. Yeah, we can go through these texts. And next Saturday, yes. And the new year, and everything would be good. Okay, anything want to add? Other than that, then we can. No questions online, yeah. Okay.
Kimpola, I wonder if, I'm not sure if everybody in this group was at the transmission, but I wonder if there'd be any point where you can speak a little bit about the Tukchu Parchi Kunsel and the practice, and a little bit about how to do the practice, or anything related to the transmission that you recently gave.
Yeah, usually I'm trying to keep the Tukdrop or any practice session that I'm due to our friend's Will's requirement. I'm doing that for him, and then he's kindly kind of allowing us to join. So we can do that mixed way, but I think next Saturday it's I can do both this prayer and the Tukdo Parchi Kunser prayer. Do you know our Drupon Rinpoche's name?
Yeah, I noticed that recently after reading the text, but Chupan Tinli Ningpo, and the Tinli Ningpo seems related also to this text.
Trilin Yingbo, we have Trilin Jepa, the extensive text, and Trilin Jepa with each manifestation of Guru Rinpoche has much more descriptive sadhana. And then we have Chenlin Jingbo, which is the medium linked. And then we have Chenlin Ningbo, means essence of the Tukdo Parchikunser. So Chenlin Ningbo, I heard, could be I'm wrong, but when he was born, Turku Urgyen was in Dongor monastery area. Because Turku Urgyen's wife is Chujinima's mother. And Chujinima Rinpoche is the abbot of, or the head Turku of the Dongor, Drupon Chaningbo's monastery. And of course, then Turku Urgyen's lineage is this Onchongling Tersar, which is mainly Guru Rinpoche's sadhanas are revolve around this Chenlin Ningbo, Rinpo, Jepa, Tukdo Parchikunser. And at that time, I heard our difference name was given related to the Chenlin Ningbo, the essence practice of the Tukdo Parchikunser.
Wow, that's a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing. Very auspicious.
Yeah, I told you everything's related. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that is a really amazing story, kind of. Yeah. Exactly, that the Chenlin Ningbo is precisely exactly that title of the essence of Tukdo Parchikunser, sadhana. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, I think.
Sorry, Kempo, I shared that, but then it sounded like you wanted to conclude, so I took it down.
No, can you show us?
This is, of course, much more extensive than what you have transmitted so far, but here's how the...
Yeah, so don't underestimate me. I went to 3-year retreats of these extended one and the middle, and then essence, and so I'm familiar with these texts, and yeah, that you can see in Chenlin Ningbo here. Tukdrup. Tukdrup means Tuk means heart, means awakened mind, heart. Drup means accomplishment or achieving the Buddha heart. Chenle means activity. Ningbo means essence. So this essence of activity that achieves the Buddha heart, which is Guru Rinpoche's heart practice. It's called Parchikunse, that is dispel of all obstacles. So we can talk more about that, but keep in mind, those are very important texts. Okay, thank you, and rest well, and New Year, then we will go through the Vajra verse and a little bit about the Tukdo Parchikunse. Now I can speak in English so you know, you understand. I don't need to worry about it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Sonam Deye we have. Sonam Deye Tam Jis Vani Tone Nye Bedrana Pam Jide jiga nan ji ban zhu wa ye zi bin zol zhu wa zhi wer.
Thank you very much, Kempo, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, James, and
Thank you.
everyone.
Hi, Lida.
Say hi, Kempola.